Library full of nerds. Is that a whole bear? We're back again to play some games. It is Sunday, which means it's Sunday Seduction, a series on my channel where I play a random romance game. And today we have The Silent Kingdom. This is a game that describes itself as a dark otome JRPG, and I will be playing the demo today. And let me just give you guys a quick rundown about the game. Don't click off. Be patient. I'll be fast. The Silent Kingdom is a story-driven otome RPG where the player's choices and interactions with the other characters set the narrative. So you play as a princess, and the princess will have the option to develop bonds and even romantic relationships with the companions she'll travel with. Romance will contain adult, not explicit scenes. So this game was developed by one single developer, and you can support them right now on Kickstarter. So I'll leave everything in the description below. So before we start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media. It's all in the description below, and we can get started. Hear me, you who looked upon the world with defiant arrogance, and as a mortal, believe yourself above the divine weaving. I'm taking from you your suns and moons. No longer shall the stars shine for you. But the twilight of a kingdom is gentle, calm, like the kindest of death. For such is my benevolence and my love. That sounded like a threat. Princess! Princess! Don't wake me up. Oh, okay. Okay, Princess Naomi. Princess Naomi, wake up. Your kingdom has awakened by the goddess's grace, and so must you. Everything starts with Denise's voice. The kingdom begins to fill with light, and I wake up in my bedroom, a little disoriented. Just a bit longer. By the goddesses, how can you be so lazy sometimes? Don't call me lazy. Come on, today is a special day. A special day? Of course! Today's your 13th birthday. Had you perhaps forgotten? She don't look 13. Didn't I turn 13 quite a few years ago? Exactly. Look at me. I don't think I'm... What nonsense are you speaking of? Come along now. Choose one of your best dresses. Our Majesty awaits. Or His Majesty awaits. Oh, you always say that you prefer getting dressed on your own. But if you need any help... No, I'm fine. Very well. In that case, I shall take my leave and help with the preparations for tonight's banquet. It's not every day that a princess has a birthday. Bye. And don't forget to go see your father when you're ready. Alright. Don't tell me what to do. Denise. Peace at last. Denise has spent her life taking care of me. I hold her in very high regard, but sometimes she can be a bit tiresome. Don't talk about Denise like that. A banquet, huh? The idea somehow sounds strange to me. What do we have to wear? This again? All my dresses seem too small for me. I must tell Denise. Why do I keep forgetting? For now, I'll have to leave it like this. There's nothing inside this closet that I could wear. Wait, you're gonna wear it? Nothing? For now, there's nothing inside the closet that I could wear. Okay, you're just gonna walk around like this? Okay. My 13th birthday. That makes no sense. I stopped being a child long ago, although I don't remember when. From here I can see most of the gardens, but barely anything beyond, except for those distant mountains. I was told that the kingdom is vastly different beyond the citadel's walls. Oh, I spot little Chrono with his wooden sword, performing some early morning training. Who's that? Your brother? There's not much in this room. You don't got no entertainment? Chess key. Oh, good morning, princess. Good morning. Do you know where my father is? His Majesty is currently conveying with his generals in the war room. I'm afraid he won't allow any interruptions until the meeting is over. Why don't you take a walk around the gardens in the meantime? It's such a beautiful day. Thank you, I shall do that. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to be mean, but this sounds exactly like me, right? But I'm not me, I'm Naomi. So, thank you. Have a nice morning. With your permission, I shall return to my duties. Stop moving. There you go. Happy birthday, princess. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot to prepare for tonight's banquet. Hey, I have a key. If I can. Sorry, I'm bad with keyboard. Either. Okay. Nice painting. Can I go in here? Nope. Father's in there then. Why is His Majesty conveying with his generals on a day of celebration? Do you think the situation with the terror has worsened? Shh. Just thinking about it frightens me. I've heard stories about terrors that will rob you of your sleep. Well, I haven't heard any stories. Can I come in here? The king is in the meeting. I'm afraid I can't let you in. Okay. Can't go that way either. Thank you. You know, my real life birthday's coming up too. You sweeping that floor. How stressful. This kind of celebration is always so unrewarding. It just gives a lot of extra work. Despite the extra work, I'm excited. Think of all the gleaming nobles we'll see tonight. The dresses, the music. You're dreaming a bit too much. None of that has to do with us. You're such a killjoy. And you're an airhead. Oh, princess. We didn't expect you here. But princess, we're preparing the banquet held in your honor tonight. I appreciate your hard work. Doesn't look like you're working much. I'm just passing by. You may continue with your work. I didn't mean to interrupt. Yes, princess. Now stop daydreaming. Keep working. Is that a whole bear? We eating. We're eating good, I guess. We're eating for real. Library full of nerds. Solomon. By the goddess. By the goddess Argus. What are you doing placing scientific literature in a fictional section? Oh, I'm sorry, Professor. I wasn't paying due attention. You've had your head in the clouds for the whole morning. What troubles haunt you? What's your problem, Argus? Professor, You saw her too, didn't you? The beautiful woman who walked alongside the king. Oh, for goddess' sake. I should have imagined that this was a woman issue. This is no ordinary woman. Her smile was so enigmatic when she glanced at me. Who might she be? Lad, I could dedicate a whole life to studying every corner of this land. And yet I remain ignorant of the matters concerning His Majesty and his mysterious guests. However, upon seeing the mess that she has turned you into, I may as well affirm that she's a witch. Why my daddy hanging out with a witch? Where my mama at? Now finish arranging those books. Best not to think about people who belong to different worlds. I don't feel like talking to y'all. Because I want to go outside. Okay, nothing that way. Okay, nothing that way either. Just the front gate to outside the castle. A war? Truly? You must be Chrono. You seem so vigorous this morning. No, I mean, happy birthday, princess. Thank you. The kid smiled slightly in an attempt to conceal his nervousness. Colonel's grandmother has served my family as the oracle for 3 generations. He's been instructed since very young to become my squire, though he's still a child. So, training even on a day of celebrations? No days off. Of course, if I want to become a good squire for my princess, I can't neglect even a single day of training. He takes it really seriously. Nothing will change for a single day. Do your best, and you will be a great squire. Just fix your clothes on you. You'll be good. There will be no other as loyal and honorable as you, Chrono. The child's eyes seemed to glow. The princess's words have encouraged him, as well having added kindling to the fire. You really think so? I greatly appreciate your words. Chrono looked at his wooden sword, tightening his hold on it. His eyelids closed halfway with the weight of an uneasy thought. Princess, it is said that the terrors who raze our lands grow more numerous by the day. It is rumored that there will be a war, probably. And I fear that you might march into battle without me, for I might be regarded as a child, or considered unprepared. Chrono. Why don't you show me your progress? You want to fight? Oh, you wish to train with me, princess? Isn't there any other matter you should attend to first? Finish exploring and start training. I don't care. Let's go for it. I'm about to fold you. Gotta fold you. Of course I miss after saying that. There we go. Don't miss. There we go. Didn't get nothing. Well fought, Chrono. I folded you. Thank you, princess. I shall practice harder. Princess, I bring a message from Professor Solomon. I know it's a different Solomon I'm thinking about, but it's you know, I feel some way about Solomons. If you follow my other game series. I bring a message from Professor Solomon. I applaud you not neglecting your training even on a day of celebration, but let's not forget that cultivating your mind is equally important. Well, time for my daily lessons. Yeah, come with me. Why don't you accompany me for today's lessons? Yeah, of course you can. Education is for everybody. Of course, as the professor once said, a literate squire is worth 2 men. I'm really thankful. Come, let's go to the library. Reading is fundamental. Well, I'd like today's lesson to be revision. This way, we can also assess young Chrono's knowledge. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at this map. Harmonia. So there's a lot of information, so I'm going to try to condense it as fast as I can. So there are 4 kingdoms on the continent of Harmonia. We are the princess of Cristaria. And the other kingdoms also have princesses that were all born on the same day. So right now it's all of our birthdays. We're super important to our kingdoms because the queens, all 4 queens passed away giving birth to us all on the same day. So we are like the only ones left to carry on, you know, the kingdom. So our kingdom gets along with Fortuna. The kings are friends. We have to pass by Fortuna to get to Letica because these mountains block us from each other. But we're pretty neutral, I want to say. We do some trading. I don't know if we have any connection with Somnia, but Letica does. The terrors actually invaded this place, so this place is not doing so well. This kingdom's not doing so well. But in exchange for protection, Somnia lets Letica mine on their lands to get their materials in exchange for protection from the terrors. And our continent is surrounded by this weird fog, and anybody who sails out there doesn't come back. So it's believed that this is the only place on the world, but I highly doubt that. Okay, let's go. Princess, I'm taking my leave. Thank you for everything. You're welcome, Chrono. But before I go, I have a request. What is it? It's about my grandmother. She said that she would like to see you today, before dusk, to wish you a happy birthday. Oh, so I have her permission to visit her? Yes, she's eagerly expecting you. Besides, she seems a bit stressed these days. Perhaps you could cheer her up. Understood. It shall be a true honor to visit the Oracle. Thank you, Princess. Remember that my house is the one by the lake to the east. Got it. Well, what did Denise mean when she said, what did Denise mean when she said it's not every day that a princess has a birthday? There's literally 4 of us having a birthday. The heck? At the same time. Let me in, Oracle. Princess, please come in. What's good? Princess in the house. Please come close and let these tired eyes take a good look at you. I'm sure you look beautiful today. I look naked today. But what's good, Grandma? Is it okay if I call you Grandma? Yeah, you could be my grandma. I'll walk closer, thankful for the privilege of being in her presence. As the Oracle, she is the one who serves the crown for several generations. It is her duty to live isolated, away from all possible interruptions, except for her grandson. Only her grandson, Chrono, and my father, the king, are permitted daily contact with her. For the rest of us, it is usually forbidden. Her presence is so comforting that I regret not being able to visit her more often. It is an honor for me to be welcomed into your house, Oracle. Oh, sweet child, in such dark times, your presence brings much joy to this old woman's heart. Dark times. I don't understand. Have you perhaps seen any misfortune in your visions? I wish I could share them with you, little one, but you know that such things are forbidden. Only the king may consult with me regarding my visions, and yet the king has grown deaf ever since that woman has come to sit by his side. I have tried to warn him, but he does not listen. He does not listen. I shall speak to him. I'll let him know that he must visit you with haste. Oh, sweet child. Though, you are no longer much of a child now, are you? How old did you say you're turning today? 13, apparently. Yeah, 13. Oh, but it does not seem like it at all, young one. Or are you simply lying to yourself? My eyes widened further upon hearing that, and a strange feeling nestled inside my chest. Only the blind and the foolish would believe that you are 13 years old. It would rather seem that you had just reached your 20s. It would rather seem that you just reached your 20s. I stared at her with my mouth agape, speechless for a moment. I thought the same, but no one seemed to realize that I was no longer a child. I ended up thinking that somehow it was all just in my head. No one? Nonsense. I assure you that Chrono has noticed too. I saw the look in his eyes as he spoke of you. There was something fearful in them. This makes no sense. I bring a hand to my forehead and shut my eyes tight. I feel as though my head will explode if I keep thinking about this. You should rest for today, young one. You don't look well. I can't. Your visions, the banquet. What banquet? Tonight, for my birthday. I shall ask again. What banquet are you speaking of? What? I'm trying to think, but I can't remember any banquet. I don't understand. My head. Girl, you fell hard. Princess Naomi. Suddenly, I find myself before the corridor that leads to the great hall. I guess I spaced out. Okay, Dad's ready to talk to me. Like a puppet whose strings are being guided by unseen hands, I pass through the corridor without a sound until I eventually find myself within the great hall itself. Daddy, we gotta talk. What's up with this witch I've been hearing about? You messing with witches now? Father's alone. Where's the woman who accompanies him these days? Ugh, my head. That's your daddy, all right. But you got your mother's eyes, probably. Naomi, my dear daughter, with every day that passes, you step further away from the sweet nectar of childhood. Look at you. You're a young woman now. Father. I'm not a child no more. Time flies, Naomi, but in the eyes of the goddess and fate, luckily you are still a child. Now, I surmise you came with questions, echoes of a whole kingdom. For rumors spread like flames. Father, the oracle is worried. She laments that you no longer hear her voice. Oh, my dear Naomi, I've heard many things in recent days, far too many. What's happening, Father? You sit with a witch at your side and gather your generals. The corridors are filled with whispers that speak of war. And none is any less true than the other. I have begun preparations to declare war on... That's your friend. That's your friend. On Fortuna. That's your friend. That's your friend's kingdom. Fortuna? Isn't their king a good friend of yours? Wow, it really be your own, huh? He is. He always has been, and I shall ensure that his life is spared. But not even the strongest of friendships can suffice when something so important is at stake. Like what? Now I beg you, please do not ask further questions. You are far too young to be learning of the bitter realities of this world. That's your friend. But father. Naomi, there's just one thing I need you to understand and to never forget. What? Everything I do, it will always... Do not put that on me. I don't want none of this. Everything I do is and will always be for you. I did not ask you to go invade your friend's kingdom. The blood I spill, and the betrayals I sow. Everything shall always have a single meaning and purpose. You. No, sir. Even if you cannot understand my reasoning, I don't. Will you be able to accept my purpose? No. I'm confused. Why would you invade your king's king? What's happening? Father, what's going on? Aliens? Hear me. You who looked at the world and divine... I'm taking your suns and moons. Am I your suns and moons? Is this voice talking to my dad? Princess, it's been a long day. Denise. My voice is weak, my eyelids heavy. Good night, Princess. I'm so tired that I can't even begin to think. The sheets welcome me like a mother's arms, and I just... Good night, Princess. Denise, you're being creepy. The twilight of a kingdom is gentle, calm by the kindness of deaths. And as I lay on my bed asleep, or perhaps even lifeless, I feel someone watching me. Ooh, creepy. Silent and forgotten, a ghost amidst the shadows. Shadow, 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 shadow. Princess Naomi, wake up. Your kingdom has awakened by the goddess of grace, and so must you. Everything starts with this is the same. This is the same. Are we repeating the same day? We are repeating the same day. What I say last time? I said good morning. I say this. Good morning. Good morning, Princess Naomi. You're looking well. I'm sure you're aware it's a very special day. A special day? Of course, it's your birthday. Again? Didn't I turn 13 quite a few years ago? Look at me. I don't think I'm... What nonsense speaking of? Yeah, it's exactly the same as last time. Somebody's out here talking to me. Yep. You're gonna tell me to go walk outside and take a walk? Take a walk outside. Why don't you take a walk? Yep. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Except for this. Without warning, someone grabbed me from behind. Step up off me. You look like a snake. Do not fret, my princess. I have a message for you. What? Who the hell are you? An intruder. The only piece that doesn't fit in your perfect little world. His voice is a whisper in my ear. I can't see his face, but I can tell that he's smiling. My heart begins to race, my mind alert. I feel as though I've fallen captive to an enemy I can't even begin to predict. An intruder. Free myself. Quickly, I take one of his wrists and twist it hard, using the opportunity to immediately whip around and face him. He moves away, keeping his distance this time. Now he's looking at me with a shadowed smile, a hand over his own pained wrist. Well, aren't you feisty? Be thankful I hadn't called the guards yet. Speak now. I'll listen to what you have to say, but know that you will not touch me again. The stranger stands up straight. He doesn't lose his smile, as if he didn't fear. Something about his presence makes me feel extremely anxious. I mean, extremely uneasy. I swear, sometimes I just be completely changing the sentence. You are trapped, princess. This castle is your prison. You cannot leave it, nor can you even reach tomorrow. Every day you live is merely an echo of the ones you have lived time and time again before. So I'm in a time loop. Then again, I'm sure it's quite intoxicating. You are very much loved and respected here, are you not? Every word reverberates in some corner of my soul. They sting. I can't help but feel they are somehow true. I begin to feel sick. A powerful headache overwhelms me whenever I think about it, but I don't want to stop thinking. I don't. What do you even know about this castle? Or about me? Ugh, my head. Damn it. I move a hand to my forehead. Taking advantage of my opportune weakness, he moves closer, though still respecting my refusal to be touched. Back up. I know everything you do not. The close distance causes him to speak with a lower voice. How strange. No one has ever sounded like this. As I find myself looking into his eyes, I can't decide if I find them kinder or sharper. And I wish to show you it all, but it can't be here, nor can it be now. Time is running out. Then where? When? Faced with my impatience, his smile seems to grow amused. I shall find you after today's lesson. Be patient, my princess. With that, he steps back once again, and suddenly it feels as if the world has turned upside down. Everything spins in front of my eyes. Everything. My bedroom, my castle, my garden, my squire, my teacher, my father. I feel myself falling for what seems like an eternity, until a pair of strong arms catch me. Princess, are you all right? Thank you, my dude. If you are certain. Yes, don't worry. You may return to your post. My pulse is still racing, but I must go on as if nothing happened. Okay, so after my lesson, he'll appear again. That means I have to go talk to Chrono and fight him. Chrono, I'm sorry, but I have to fold you a second time. I'm not going to invite him this time, because if what's-his-face appears, I want him to see Chrono. Princess, I didn't mean to intrude, but I have a request. You want me to go see your grandmother? Yep. Happy birthday, princess. Thank you. Here you are, probably. Yep, there he is. Such a magnificent castle. The air carries the scent of childhood. Free from worry and concern, don't you agree? No, because that sounds weird. You can smell childhood? What'd that smell like? Who? Oh, have you forgotten me so soon, princess? After such a magical encounter this morning? I wince as I feel a sudden pain inside my head. My eyes forced to a close as invisible knives were relentlessly driven into my skull. When I eventually opened my eyes once more, his face started to seem familiar. Okay. So she loses focus, so her memories disappear? I don't know. Because you just met him. But you don't remember. You, I remember you. I promised I'd return to you, and here I am. This damn headache again, clouding my judgment. I've got a bad feeling about this. I want answers. Start by telling me who you are. My name is Seneca, and I am a humble messenger who managed to sneak into your castle. With a lot of difficulty, I might add. Messenger of whom? Of the person who can break the curse that weighs upon your kingdom. That is, if you are willing to take the necessary step forward. My kingdom? Cursed? I clench my teeth. I don't understand. Whenever I try to think about it, my head... Why do I suddenly have such a heavy feeling in my heart? You're trapped here, princess. A prisoner of your own realm. So long as you remain here, you will be unable to see nor think clearly. But, just from speaking of such things, have I already inflicted inevitable pain upon you? The more I say now, the more you will suffer, unless you will understand. And so you suddenly prefer condemning me to ignorance? My voice raised in anger, as if that could somehow take this anguish away. He, however, remains calm. He looks like a snake to me. Come with me. Seneca holds out his hand towards the princess. Come inside my realm, where my mistress awaits. She can lift the veil, clouding your mind, and alleviate your pain. Just for tonight, hear the truth from her lips. Then you may freely decide if you wish to confront reality. Or resign yourself to this everlasting cycle, to living and reliving your 13th birthday time and time again in ignorant bliss. I don't want that. I don't trust you at all, but we gotta go on with the story. I'll trust you, I guess. Well, I'll pretend to trust you. Perhaps I should be more cautious. Perhaps I should doubt him more than I do. But something feels wrong with me. It has felt that way for an eternity, up until today, up until I've heard his voice. Now I feel so close to touching that elusive truth. So close. If it turns out to be true that the kingdom is cursed, then my father, Denise, Chrono, everyone could be... I'm Crystaria's princess, and my kingdom means everything to me. So, I take his hand and accept. His glove feels cold, like the last time. He smiles and folds his fingers around mine. His voice lowered from the closeness, softer, more intimate. Are you afraid? Never. I watch him laugh, as if he didn't believe me, or simply found my response funny. Taking offense, my frown only deepens further. Apologies. I just find your vigor quite curious. I must let you know that the outside is as dangerous as you've been told. I can handle it. What do you think this is? I'm a gamer and I do this. You will need a weapon before we depart. Hurry up. I shall be waiting near the main gate. Understood. I will find a weapon. Oh, and just one more thing. You have forgotten all about me earlier. It's likely you'll do so again if you're not careful. So keep repeating my name. Try not to forget. Alright. Okay. We gotta find a weapon. May I grab this? Okay, nope, because the guards are there. Oops, wrong way. Seneca. Great sword. Thank you. But girl, you can't... How you gonna hide it? You don't have nothing to hide it in. Everybody's gonna see it. See, look at her. She's already suspicious. She's just staring at me. She was moving before. Don't look at me. Princess, why are you carrying such a weapon through the corridor? It's forbidden. I'm going to the gardens to train. None of your business. I'm going to the garden to change? I mean, whatever. Oh, doesn't the training square offer some weapons already? Answer sternly. Get on my business. I have graced you with an answer, yet you insist on wasting my time, questioning me as though I were some sort of thief. I didn't mean... Explain something to me, maid. Do you believe that your princess owes you any kind of explanation? And what she does? About what she does? No, of course not. Then go back to your duties, or I will have to inform my father that maid's overstepping her boundaries. Yes, princess, I'm sorry. Well, that did the trick. Now he's here. Don't look at me. May I ask for the weapon you're carrying? I'm taking it back where I got it. The gardens. You may watch as I leap through the front door for reassurance if you must. I see. In that case, I beg for you not to bring it inside the castle again. We must follow the king's law. It shall not happen again. Well, that did the trick. So he said meet him at the front gate. Where's Chrono at? Which is that? Don't look at me. Which is over here. Don't look at me. What's good, my boy? You found a weapon. Excellent. Now don't just drag it behind you like a misbehaved child. You do know how to use one of those, don't you? Yeah. Okay, I'm ready. I got my sword equipped. Let's roll out. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Uh-oh. Never mind. Before the main gate stand several soldiers barring our passage. But why? Has someone raised an alarm? Princess Naomi, you know better than anyone that's forbidden to cross the gate. Open them, it's an order. I'm afraid that won't be possible. This is a direct order from the king himself. There's no higher authority than father. Princess, I beg you to step away from the intruder and return to the castle for your own safety. The guards are gripping their weapons with determination. We gotta... Sorry. The tension in the air is so thick that it could be cut with a knife. I meet the unified stares with defiant eyes as unthinkable starts taking shape in my mind. I hear father's voice, a memory I don't quite remember, an uncertain past, a forgotten future. My lips repeat his words in the form of a whisper. Everything I do is and always will be for you. Almost, without realizing, my hand slides slowly towards my sword's hilt. Then, with a rapid movement, I adopt an offensive position. Just how far am I willing to go? Princess! We gotta fight. The guards react with alarm as they brace their weapons, ready for the possible battle in spite of their indelible shock. I shall cross those gates, no matter what it takes. How strong are you, Seneca? Because this is a lot of guys. Folded. But they did get a lot of damage on me. Who guessed that you'd have it in you to raise a sword against your own subjects? Seneca's voice pulled me out of my trance. And then I realized that my loyal soldiers lie all around me, unconscious and wounded by my hand. It had to be done. I need to cross this gate. They gave me no choice. Regardless, I didn't kill anyone. They'll recover. You sure do know what you want, don't you? Our manner of thinking isn't so different after all. That's not a good thing. Sometimes we must be willing to do the unthinkable to fulfill our goals. Take a look now. Let's go. Don't just stare at it. Let's run through it. So this is the world beyond my castle. This is the end of childhood, princess. Where are we headed? Keep moving forward. We shall soon come across a cottage. But why aren't you leading us? Golly. All up on my heels. Back up. Look how close he is. Can you smell my hair? A black bird. Was that crow? Seems like it. Why do you ask? I've never seen a real one before. A small chuckle slips free of Seneca. You remind me of a little cub who just dared to venture out of its den. I never had the chance to set foot beyond the gate walls. A small clearing in the forest, I find a statue of a woman on her knees. She looks as if she's kneeling to pray. How strange. This doesn't seem to be an altar to the goddess. Who might she be? Whoever it may be a statue of, she's a very beautiful woman, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, she is. She got a hood on. Step up off me! On the second thought, stay close. Stay close. Off in the distance. Ooh, that sound. Off in the distance, an unexpected sight sends a chill down my spine. A twisted, loathsome beast is gorging itself on someone's entrails. The sickening sound, the tearing of flesh, and wet smacking of the creature's jaw reminds me of a feast that I once held at the castle. My eyes are stretched wide as the name slips past my trembling lips. Terror. Tears. That's right. Don't just offer your innards up to it for dessert like the poor woman over there. The beast raises its piercing eyes towards you. It looks delirious, as if possessed by some sort of wicked primal impulse. Quickly, I stand to defend myself and steady my breathing in a bid to clear my mind. Golly, she almost died. Ooh, okay. Are you alright, princess? Yeah, I'm good. Let's continue. My words escape as a growl, a tired order. I can taste bile on my tongue, but I swallow my nausea and fear both. And even if I don't really want to look at what remains of that woman, I force myself to do so before leaving. Golly. But I need you to show me the way. Oh, now we can run. We're getting close. Keep moving forward. Alright. What is that tower in the distance? Who knows? Looks like a prison smaller than your castle was. Why would you say that? I'm guessing this is it. Is this the place? My mistress is waiting inside. Why don't you go in first? This is... Dun dun dun. I don't know. Oh, the castle. This is nothing but an illusion, princess. Soon you shall realize that here, you are able to think clearly, for good or for bad. In front of us there's a woman of outstanding beauty, the witch. Her voice calm and her smile enigmatic. That's the exact word that was used to describe her. She seems familiar. Thank you for guiding her, Seneca. Mistress, allow me to welcome you, Princess Naomi. I'm Cersei? I don't know. The one many call a witch. I want answers. The witch brings back the back of her hand to her lips, making a little effort to hide an amused smile. Impatient and impulsive, just like your father the king. Albeit, you have much more to lose. Explain yourself. I must warn you that reality can be extremely cruel if you lack the courage. Well, I am brave. I came all this way to hear it for myself, presuming there is any truth coming from your lips. You look like a snake also. You give off the same energy as Seneca, a snake. For a moment, her smile seemed satisfied. Look at you. I shall start by revealing the reason behind your every nonsensical behavior. We are not in the real world, but in a dream. A dream? I felt a lump in my throat upon hearing that. Scenes and images flashed in my head as I began to relive various moments, unable to tell which were true and which were not. 7 years ago, the king of Crostaria decided to defy the goddess by declaring a war on the neighboring kingdom of Fortuna. His plan was to capture and execute Princess... Why? You want to kill the princess? His plan was to capture and execute Princess Magaria, possessor of divine blood. This would have been the first war written in the continent's history, and also the first time that a king dared to rebel against the goddess's plan. However, just as war seemed imminent, the unthinkable happened. The day of your 13th birthday, right before death fell upon the land, the goddess descended from the heavens. She filled every corner of your kingdom with her presence and announced to all the punishment for Crostaria's arrogance and disobedience. You, innocent child, and blood of her blood, were merely put to sleep for the goddesses to keep under her control. You have been immersed in a pleasant dream ever since, while your body kept growing as the years passed. The rest were prey to a terrible curse. From the king to the very last vassal, everyone witnessed how their skin lost its warmth, to be transformed into stone. Now, an endless amount of statues fill every corner of your kingdom with nothing but silence. So, outside of my dream, everybody's stone. No, this can't be true. That means I have nothing left? Since you're saying that while I dream, every person I've ever loved has turned into stone? That if there truly is a real world, now I'm alone in it? I've never been alone before. Never known what it meant to stand entirely for myself without support. It's incredibly hard for me to simply accept this. So unimaginably hard. I take a step back, but my hand adopts a claw-like grip upon my forehead. I exhale. No matter what, I must try to keep my cool. Why should father want to start a war? I don't understand. It is then when I fix my gaze upon her. You. What kind of poisoned tales did you whisper in the king's ear? The same kind of which you came looking for yourself, princess. The truth. I did warn you. The truth can be devastating. But I'm afraid I lack the luxury time to offer every answer which you require. Soon, night shall fall in your realm. And like every day, you will inevitably wake up in your room with no recollection of any of this. You must make a decision before that happens, here and now. What do you want me to do? You have my attention. There is a way to free your people of their yoke. The path ahead is most assuredly full of thorns, but in you I discern a strong soul, that of a true Southerner. I would not have come here otherwise. What did you get out of this? Because I don't trust you. You are sharp. It's clear I would not be helping you if there was nothing for me to gain. We all were punished that night, princess. I am no exception. And so long as this curse weighs upon my shoulders, it is only natural that I shall wish to help you end it. You mean it's possible to manifest oneself even when being a statue of stone? No, I'm afraid that my case is different. While fleeing the forest, as soon as I noticed my skin transforming, I separated my soul from my body and raised it to... Oh, are you that statue over there? While you were fleeing in the forest? Yeah, that was over. I was over at the beginning of the forest, the statue. As soon as I noticed my skin, I separated my soul from my body and raised it to an incorporeal plane. Now, I can only communicate with my apprentice, Seneca. Thanks to the bond we share. This is why I act through him. Well, how come he's not stone? I look at Seneca. He smiles weakly and nods his head. Since you know of my condition, I must ask you to look on the table. There is something I left there which you shall need. Oh, you want me to... Sorry. What? A dagger? His name is Soulbreaker. If you want to save your kingdom, I gotta kill my father. You must kill the goddess. Oh, never mind. You must kill the goddess with it. Kill the goddess? The mother of all creation? Such blasphemous words should feel like a blade to my ears, and yet they seem to find a nest in my heart. This is the goddess that Crystari has worshipped for centuries, only to have their faith and service spit on in return. I mean, your father kind of ruined her plan or whatever. So of course she's upset. An ungrateful mother. I can't help but curse her from the depths of my heart. So, you say it's possible to kill the goddess with this dagger? Not exactly. For not even a Soulbreaker can achieve such a feat on its own. It requires certain circumstances. The first of which has already presented itself, an opportune moment. The goddess has fallen to a deep slumber after spending the remnants of her power, inflicting a curse upon an entire kingdom. She is weaker than ever, and this is why we must act now, before she recovers and wakes up. How will I ever reach the goddess? No one has ever crossed the heaven's door into her realm. You shall know when the moment comes. Before that, you must dedicate your efforts to preparing the Soulbreaker. This will be your true mission. I glanced at the dagger between her fingers. I read that wrong. I glanced at the dagger between my fingers. Prepare it how? You must plunge it deep into the heart of the other princesses. Nourish it with their blood, their last living breath. Feed it with their soul born from the goddess. Do that, and you shall be in possession of the most powerful weapon ever created. Capable of killing the goddess herself, now that she's weakened. To save my kingdom, I have to murder the other princesses. It's terribly lurid. I have no problem with this. I mean, it's pretty terrible. I won't be able to save my kingdom if I don't become a murderer who spills innocent blood. My soul will be callous, vile. But what are 3 lives compared to a whole kingdom? It's a fair sacrifice for the greater good. I'm sure Father would do it without so much of a second of a doubt. I mean, he was already heading to Fortuna to kill the princess already. Wait. Yeah, he was already gonna kill the princess. So was Father's... Did you give my father the dagger first, before me? Because that would be the only reason why he would need to go kill the princess. Did you want him to kill the goddess? And I don't know. Weird. It's a fair sacrifice for the greater good. I'm sure Father would do it without second doubt. I think she already set my father to do this, but it didn't work out. This is all part of your plan, isn't it? Circle. I mean, I don't know say her name. Cyrus? Whatever. Well, I'm Kristaria's princess. I will never turn my back on my people. For them, I am willing to stain my hands and my soul. The witch's smile doesn't hide her satisfaction. Spoken like a true Southerner. Now, tell me how I can awaken from this spell. You must die, princess. My expression immediately turned upon that. My eyes widen with realization, and my lips part without offering a voice to follow. When the Princess Naomi from the dream dies, the dream shall die with her. Only then will your eyes open in reality. Seneca will be waiting with the Soulbreaker at the capital of Fortuna. My eyes drag down towards the reflection upon the dagger. The girl within trembles, causing me to grip it more tightly, as though to deny my fear. Dying. This could all just be an elaborate lie, I know, but is my kingdom worth any sort of sacrifice? I gotta, if I want to wake up, right? This is all part of your plan, isn't it? And Seneca, you're in this too, aren't you? I don't know what y'all are planning. She probably wants the goddess dead no matter what. I don't know. I collect my composure with a long, drawn-out breath before raising the dagger and holding it upon my chest with both hands. I almost winced when Seneca suddenly and unexpectedly grabbed my wrist, forcing me to meet his gaze. For some reason, his glove has turned warmer. What? I'll see you again. Remember, I'll be waiting at the capital with the Soulbreaker. I offer him no reply, except for a brief nod of my head. Slowly he releases me, withdrawing his hand once more as he steps back. Tightening my hold on it, I turn my attention back to the raised dagger. Its deadly gleam overwhelms me, as much as my own reflection on the blade. My own eyes look back at me as if I were an enemy. You gonna go for it? And move this mouse. You gonna go for it? This is the first sacrifice. So that's one princess down, technically. For my father, For my kingdom. Ow. The twilight of a kingdom is not gentle, nor is it calm. The twilight of a kingdom is tempestuous, cruel, and merciless. It is sword, axe, and hammer, pain cries, and devastating wounds. It is one bitter heart aside of another that has withered. Death is not kind, and if it intended to be so, I'd refuse it. For I swear that never again shall you take from me the frenzied madness that life shall always be. You good? The first breath of life reaches my ears violently, an abrupt awakening. My heart races uncontrollably as I instinctively bring my hand to my chest, resting it upon the imaginary wound of a dagger. I'm alive. The witch didn't lie. I remain motionless for what seemed like the longest time. I'm in my bedroom, but it doesn't seem familiar. It's then that I realize I'm surrounded by flowers in my bed. Not one withered. Get up. My body feels heavy, requiring great effort to merely lift myself to my feet. When my feet finally touch the floor, my knees begin to shake. A feeling of immense loneliness overwhelms me. This place is scary looking now. Are those fresh roses? Does that mean somebody is taking care of me still? It's dark and extremely silent. It's scary. No, I shouldn't say scary. It's just awfully lonely. Awfully dark. Unsettling. So much silence. Aw, Daddy. Father. Father, it's me. I don't know if you can hear me underneath that shell of stone, but I promise I'll do everything in my power to save and avenge our kingdom. I will be worthy. Even if it costs my life, even if I have to destroy the world. Jeez. Even if it costs my life. Determination swells in the princess. Okay. I like that. That's blocked. That's blocked. It's locked from the inside. Did Professor Solomon lock himself inside the room when everything happened? Huh? The main door appears to be blocked from the other side, and try as I might, right now I lack the strength to force them open. I must find another way out. The balcony, perhaps? Okay. Denise, is that you? No longer will I see her smile. I'll bring you back to life, I promise. I clean part of the desk with my hand to look at my reflection. I look the same, but who am I? Despite everything, you're still you. Be careful. I've been climbing down carefully. My body feels clumsy and weak, even for a task like this. Simply moving has never felt so difficult. I only make it halfway down before I finally slip, my arms simply lacking the strength to hold onto the vine any longer. My startled scream precedes a violent impact against the ground. Ow. You still alive? I feel numb. Whether I have broken a bone or not, I can't tell. But I lack the strength to stand up right now. I simply curl up against myself. I'm alone. Alone in a world with no voices or faces. I can't allow myself to be weak. I loathe the sound of my own sobbing, and for what feels like forever, it's all I can hear throughout the cold night. I try to muffle it as best as I can. Suddenly, a threatening deep and guttural growl pulls me back to reality. Alarmed, I push myself up from the ground until I'm standing upright. Why is it on 2 legs? An enormous black beast towered over me upon its 2 legs. Its crimson eyes pierced my soul. I'm unarmed, and even if I weren't, I'm certain I lack the strength to so much stand up before this beast pounces on me. What if this is another dream? What if I wake up again? Perhaps death will be a new beginning. No. Yet my instincts scream at me to run away. To crawl if necessary. I don't want to die. To be devoured like some piece of meat. It can't end like this. Don't touch her. Chrono. I don't even have time to think before a stranger places himself between the terror and I, standing tall and firm, with his shield raised defiantly. His eyes shine with a violent glow, as if he were out of control. The warrior wastes no time striking the beast's mouth with his shield and stabbing deep with his sword, tearing its entrails in a brutal, merciless movement. The hideous shriek of the terror echoes through the night, like the ill-fated melody of a living nightmare. It's enough to make my blood run cold. Chrono! Finally, the monster crashes down towards the floor with a violent thud, ultimately fated to drown its own blood. Gross. However, I can't help but find myself staring at the stranger's back, fixated as his body tolls beneath the weight of his own heavy breathing. I don't know him, and yet... Princess. Within his indigo eyes, I feel as though I saw a blue sky. A faraway, gentle, and yet somehow familiar sky. My lips curl into a weak smile. It seems I had witnessed a ghost, and yet, even if only for the briefest moment, through his presence, I feel at home again. Because you know them. That's Chrono. My eyes draw to a close. I might be falling, but I feel... Grandma! Chrono, come and eat something. The princess won't disappear if you stop looking at her for a moment. Forgive me, grandmother, but I don't have an appetite. Ah, the youth, always driven by passion, never otherwise. She'll return to us. No longer do I sense any curse upon her. Grandmother, do you think the princess awakening might be a sign that the kingdom is recovering? I lament to be the one taking such hope away from you, but I'm afraid that the goddess's punishment remains well rooted in this land. It must be something else. Someone must have awakened the princess, for good or for bad. Who? Well, why don't we just ask her? Now she's waking up. What's good, y'all? Good morning. Or good night. My eyes warily begin to open, and soon enough I notice that something is out of place. For as long as I can remember, the first sight that had always greeted me upon awaking was my bedroom. So where am I now? Princess, oh, how deeply I had feared that I would never see you again in what little remains of my life. A voice. A familiar voice. Almost as if nothing had changed. Oracle. Suddenly, I recognize this place, but I can't make any sense of this. Am I dreaming again? Perhaps overwhelmed by the grief of knowing that I'm truly alone in this world. I'm happy to see you. My dear child, it is you who had brought such unimaginable happiness to this old woman. But this isn't possible, is it? The whole kingdom was... Only the two of us could avoid the curse. It's a true tragedy. Chrono, have you been leaving the roses on my bed? Because those look fresh. I immediately paid attention to the other survivor, the young man who saved me from the terror. Bummed to your arm. There's something in his eyes, something that makes me... Chrono. It has been a while. But you were always much younger than me. You were just a kid. I have always been just a year younger than you, princess. Then why did my dream portray you as younger? I have lived inside a dream for so long, now I'm having difficulty distinguishing reality from what was experienced only inside my head. You should know that Chrono has been protecting the castle against terrors and bandits ever since that day. His eyes look dead. He's seen some things. Truth be told, bandits rarely step inside these lands for fears of being cursed. Thank you for your loyalty. You have demonstrated true and unparalleled commitment to my house in an hour of need. Truly, I could never ask for a greater squire. Thank you, princess. He's changed so much. There's something familiar about him, and yet at the same time, there isn't. I wonder how much remains of the energetic and shy little kid who was unabashedly training in the garden all those years ago. I'm here to break the curse and free our kingdom. I'm gonna kill the goddess and the four princesses. Golly. See, she can't even believe it. You aim to kill the goddess? She's gotta go down. I realized that what I just told you could be deemed the most unforgivable form of blasphemy, but it's been a long time since the goddess has ceased being our guardian and instead become our executioner. Never again shall I worship one who destroyed my kingdom. The goddess' punishment has been terrible. In such dark hours, only a fool would fail to understand how such anger might be overwhelming. However, in spite of everything that has happened, she is still the guardian of the known world. None can tell what will become of the land and our very souls without her. Earlier, you confessed that your vision had become weakened. It coincides with what the witch said, does it not? That the goddess fell into a deep slumber, and now her presence is barely felt. Haven't both sun and moon kept turning, even in her absence? My child, You speak of matters unknown to you. Not even I, as close to the goddess as I am, know all the details. You might do well to remember that it was the truth, spoken by a witch, that ultimately resulted in the fall of an entire kingdom. Back then, your father refused to listen. That woman had him between her claws, filling his ears with fateful whispers. And now, she's doing the same with you. She's leaving you deaf and blind with rage. Don't assume I trust her. I mistrust her intentions just as much as you do. But in spite of that, she's not wrong. Our kingdom is cursed. If there is any possibility of saving Cristaria, then no matter the cost, I simply cannot walk away. Oh, my child, you speak with passion, but also as someone who feels they have nothing left to lose. As if the world has already ended for you, and nothing but your sorrow and hatred remain. That's basically it. I can't live in these conditions. Chrono, I think you're feeling me right now. I think you're on the same... You're gonna come with me, aren't you? You're about to spill innocent blood and sink the world into the depths of chaos. What feelings stir in your heart knowing this? I can't remember. It's difficult for me. It's difficult. I'm not proud of the things I must do, if that's what you're asking. I wish I had the luxury of choice. I assure you that I would take a different path, if I could. Alas, there are none. None that are acceptable to me anyways. The Oracle nods gloomily. Chrono remains silent, not offering a single word on the matter. I can't tell what must be going through his mind. And I begin to feel more sleepy for some reason. My eyelids begin to close, and I'm forced to shake my head just to stay awake. You should rest. There is still a long night ahead. I've been resting for 7 years. I don't understand why I feel so sleepy. You are unused to being awake. You will likely experience periods of deep sleep for a while, until you get used to it. I'll give you some more medicine. It will help you recover faster, but you must try to gather your strength for tomorrow. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, Oracle. I'm sorry, but I gotta go kill those princesses. That's crazy to me. She offers a weak smile before I turn to leave for bed. The heck was that? I open my eyes abruptly. My heart is pounding. It's still night. The darkness unsettles me. I'm unused to it, but I'm awake. Suddenly, the fear that I may be somewhere else overwhelms me. What if the Oracle and Chrono have disappeared? Well, she's right there. Ah, the Oracle. I notice her sleeping on the bed next to me, and a sense of relief washes over me. I want to see if there's a map. Anyway, I have to kill the 3 princesses, but I forgot which kingdom it was. But one of the princesses is like me. She's trained in combat, so she'll be a problem. So she's definitely going to be a problem. The silence that fills the air is tormenting for me. I wonder if death will be similar to this. Stop talking like that. You're making me depressed. Where's Chrono at? Oh, the mouse. The frigid air greets my skin with a pinch as I step outside. It was a strange thing to accept that Cristaria had become so cold. I'll say. Your house is still kind of pretty, though. Oh. I finally spot Chrono. He's lying on the grass, close to the lake. Is he asleep? You good, my boy? I find myself drawn to his company and carefully sit down alongside him, raising my knees up and wrapping my arms around him warmly. My eyes got lost in the quiet stillness of the lake. At this hour, the world looks like a dark, bottomless well. Nothing is as I remembered. You couldn't sleep either? I couldn't help but jump slightly, in spite of how calmly his voice reached me. I looked towards him, then I find him looking back at me in return. I'm sorry. Did I wake you? No. Hey, you didn't come to sleep out here because I was occupying your bed, did you? No. I perceived a slight blush on his cheeks. He breathed out discreetly. I was just thinking. You were very quiet earlier. I'd like to know what you think about the possibility of saving Cristaria. But about me, I don't know. Let's do that. Inside, I'm filled with fear. I wouldn't like to leave tomorrow knowing that I've disappointed him too. Do you think I'm a monster, Chrono? He stares at me with a mixture of surprise and silence, as if his next thought didn't want to come to light. Then he returns his gaze to the sky, always with the same glint of melancholy behind his eyes. I admire you, Princess. Astonished, I feel my gaze softening upon hearing that. It is true that I have always admired you, since we were young, but hearing you talk today about spilling your own blood for the kingdom, and with such fierce conviction, you are willing to walk a path that not others would have the courage to take, for the good of your people. As a squire, I cannot help but feel very fortunate to serve you. You can't imagine how relieving it is to hear that, Chrono. Yet, at the same time, I'm surprised. You know as well as your grandmother that making an attempt on the goddess's life is a crime unlike any ever imagined. If this is a crime, then I will help you perpetrate it. To hear that, to me, to my ears, it sounded like betrayal against the Oracle. Understanding. I feel that Chrono understands me, that I'm not alone. It's almost as if a part of those days is still with me. Am I that afraid? My eyes search once more within the blackness of the lake. A smile, small and bitter, is drawn across my lips. You are brave, Chrono, or perhaps just as reckless as I. And I feel selfish for admitting that I would gladly accept your company on the path that lies ahead. However, let's just stare. Words lodge themselves heavily in my throat. I'll leave them there to die, under the yoke of silence. Princess, could you try laying down for a moment? Why? I had been so focused on the lake that I hadn't paid attention to how beautiful the stars looked. When was the last time I truly saw them? I think it was many, many years ago. Together with Chrono, just like this. Those days didn't hurt. We remained like this for a while, lying side by side in silence, watching the stars shimmer from this pocket of calm, lost within a withered kingdom. His presence brings me comfort. And the breeze is gentle, and my eyelids only getting heavier. Who would have guessed that even in the depths of darkness, I would still find something so... Where am I? The mattress that nestles warmly against my still body feels familiar, but... And I feel such joy and such sorrow. It's overwhelming. Oh goddess, is this you? I managed to open my eyes. Seneca? The silhouette of a stranger in dangerous proximity of the princess makes my blood run cold. How was your awakening, princess? He whispers warmly with a sweet voice. A serpent, see, that's why he's a snake. A serpent whose words treacherously slither their way into her dreams. Now you know how much truth there was in the mistress's words. Reality cuts deeper than 1,000 swords. I cannot move. It's as if I lack not only a body, but a voice too. Oh, so you're not alone? So, Crystaria's oracle is alive. How fortunate she survived. It must have been quite a relief for you. The stranger looks at me intently, aware of my presence. For a moment, he's all that I can see and perceive. Goddesses of mine, mother of creation, I beg of you to open your eyes. For shadows spread while you sleep. Creepy. Seneca, I knew I don't trust you. I'm still here. It seems that the terrorist's presence wasn't enough to rob the kingdom's birds of their song. The last thing I remembered is watching the stars with Chrono. So how did I end up back in bed? He carried you? Someone have some clothes for me? How you doing? You're awake. Good morning, Chrono. You seem surprised. No, I mean, good morning, princess. How'd you sleep? I slept well. I surmise it was thanks to your grandmother's medicine. That's good to hear. Chrono, I don't quite remember what happened last night. Did I fall asleep? Yes, outside. I carried you to your bed afterwards. Grandmother wasn't exaggerating when she said that you'd be a deep sleeper. Thanks for carrying me. No need to thank me. You should talk to my grandmother. She has something for you. Good morning, Oracle. Oh, princess, would you be so kind as to bring me one of the little jars from the table by the entrance? Sure. What is this? Ah, yes. This one's perfect. The oracle begins filling the jar with some sort of elixir. She seems to have been preparing. Oracle. I'm ready to depart. This is a farewell. You gonna let me go? You won't say anything? Are you planning on leaving like this, with neither a weapon in your hand nor armor upon your back? I was planning on visiting the castle's armory before departing. I should find something there. I see. Grandmother. Colonel. Give it to her. Take this, princess. This key opens a closet in the bedroom, where we've kept something that belongs to you. Okay. This is... This armor and broadsword belonged to your mother. It was well outfitted like this in the battlefield against the terror, where she met your father, the king. So my mother was a warrior. Mother. Chrono, why don't you go outside and tend to the garden while the princess changes? Of course. Finally, I'm ready to depart, Chrono. Although I try to hide it, there's a knot in my throat and another one in my stomach. Princess. I'm caught off guard as Chrono suddenly bends the knee. His eyes now glistening sharply with determination, like a slice to air between us. With Crystaria's oracle as witness, and as the squire I have served as since the day I was born, I ask you to take me with you. Allow me to become Crystaria's sword and shield, and I swear to you, I shall pledge to spill every last drop of my blood for its salvation, if it must. Chrono. You are the oracle's kin, a direct disciple of the goddess. As it stands right now, you should consider me as an enemy, Chrono, not as an ally. Yes, she is the oracle. She is sworn to the goddess above all else. But I was born a squire, and thus I am sworn to my kingdom and to you. In truth, I have feared setting off on this path alone from the start, and I know I'll need all the help I can get. Yeah. Stand up, Chrono. Although looking somewhat dubious, Chrono obeys, rising to his feet and standing firm as he looks me straight in the eye, awaiting my response. Choosing to spill your blood for your kingdom is a right that no one should have taken from you. More than ever, Castaria is in need of its bravest. I would be honored to have you serve by my side as a squire on this journey, from which I cannot guarantee that we'll return. His chest empties completely as he breathes a heavy sigh of relief. When his eyes meet with mine again, they glint with an honest sparkle. Thank you, Princess. Chrono turns his attention towards the oracle. I just hope that you'll be able to forgive me someday. There's nothing to forgive, Chrono. No, your fate is always laying alongside hers. Grandmother. Go now. You have things to prepare for the journey. Take some food and all the gold you can find in the cottage. There shall be much more in the castle's vaults, but I don't recommend carrying much on such dangerous paths. Thank you, Grandmother. Will you be alright? The kingdom is still infested with terrors. You shouldn't stay here on your own with no means to protect yourself. Come with us, at least as far as Fortuna. Your concern is misplaced. It is not me you must fear for. Come, I'll give you the last of the medicine I prepared. It should suffice towards your complete recovery. I shall pray to the goddesses for your soul. Goodbye, home of my childhood, my silent kingdom. I'm taking your laughter and screams with me as I march towards the unknown as a princess, a champion, and a murderer. If I am fortunate enough to return someday, it shall be with both my sword and soul stained with blood, and with the world on its knees for you. Okay, I think that's the end. That's the end. Let's look. Give everybody their flowers. I love the song. Vocals by Akane, Luna, that was the Silent Kingdom. Let's do something real fast. Okay, the characters. Okay, so here's the MC. Chrono. Seneca. No idea who you are. But this is my whole team, even though Seneca be acting weird. Princess. Ungrateful mother, I can't help but curse you from the depths of my heart. Age 20. Seneca, age 23. We all know where you're from. I told you, didn't I? Reality cuts deeper than 1,000 words. Swords. The Knight, 19. If this is the crime, then I will help you perpetrate it. The Gladiator, 25. No offense, my lady, but you reek of nobility. Okay. But yeah. We're gonna have to build relationships with these characters and kill the goddess and 3 princesses. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my social media. It's all in the description below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.